Kia ora, Taurus. This is your reading for the up-and-coming new moon in Capricorn. So take what resonates in these readings, leave what doesn't, as I always say, because they are quite general. The collective reading is up there, so check it out, just as a general sort of overview of what seems to be going on at the moment. And of course we passed through that full moon in Cancer, and all those moon cycles, you know, there's a thread that runs through all of it, as one just continuous connective sort of rhythm. So let's see, Taurus, thanks for all your likes and shares, subscribes, all of that helps these videos to be seen by more and more people, so I do appreciate that. Changes the algorithm. And yeah, so I hope you've had a wonderful new year and it's starting off well. So let's get the cards out for you, Taurus, and we'll talk about them. We do clarify on this channel with a few other decks, but we'll get these initial cards to jump out first for you, Taurus. These two really want to come out. Okay, so let's just have a look. Where will we? Overview of things here. Interesting, Taurus. We start with, oh look, you know, and I do think an understanding of sorrow. We come out with the Three of Swords. Yeah, in the Thoth deck it's called sorrow because it is obviously about, you know, heartbreak, grief, all of that. The thing that's been the kind of element of this card, though, that's been more obvious of late is the driving force that the Three of Swords can be. All the threes are about, you know, like action, works in motion, all of that. The driving force of either memories or current recent experience of sorrow on some level. I mean, there's a collective sorrow, isn't there? Or there has been a collective grief, or in some ways, you know, maybe since the pandemic, I don't know. What I'm trying to say here is the ability of the Three of Swords to really spur us on, is what I'm trying to say. So for some Taurians, it may well be being experienced currently, or it is something from the past here. And it might be a character that's appearing from the past or has appeared from the past in relation to that. Anyway, let's keep going. We've got the Four of Wands. Beautiful card, the Four of Wands. Stable, secure, it's your place, it's where you belong. So whether that's an internal place for you, whether it's a physical place for you, this card is all about that. It's about your place, your home, the central hearth here, keeps everything moving, you know. In the Thoth deck it's called completion, because we've achieved something in that and feeling that level of contentment and that level of belonging. We certainly have if there's been elements of sorrow going on. So wonderful. We then have the Emperor, can be a little bit restrictive, might be a work environment, might be something that you're having to deal with currently. Can be rigid, but can also be quite benevolent. It's like having to go and do the you know, doing those jobs that you might put off, but doing them, just getting them done, so then you can go and do the things that you want to do. Yeah. sort of very Saturnian. Then we have the Prince of Wands, a wonderful, kind of a lusty sort of character, young and experimental, you know, hot and cold. I wouldn't say wild, but yeah, it's like beginner's mind. It's putting yourself in beginner's mind, learning new stuff, but pushing boundaries as well. This could be someone in your life, as could the Queen of Cups, Taurus, maybe aspects of yourself. You know, this Queen has many reflections to many different people. That doesn't mean there's an insincerity about this card. The Queen has a constantly full cup because she knows that, you know, self-care, being able to fill your own cup means that your ability to share your emotional world self with others is a very strong what am I trying to say, is one of your strengths. And here it's like it's a strength. It's a strong line of cards. I would say for some Taurians out there that Prince of Wands may well be someone in your life. Again, for some it could be aspects of yourself. So let's go through and clarify. There's a level of overcoming something here. But also a level of reviewing the past. I do feel that. We're not really focused on anything. Can we look at the Three of Swords? The Three of Swords, please, for Taurus. Too many. Just one or two cards would be good. Three of Swords for Taurus, please. We have the Five of Cups coming out. All the fives are cards of, I guess, lessons of sorts. We see here 5 cups, 3 have been spilt. But if we change our perspective and turn, we can see the 2, which is one of the most harmonious cards, the 2 of Cups, you know. So this card is really speaking of the ability that we have to shift our perspectives, to change the way that we see the situation. Sometimes it also speaks of level of melancholy and disappointment when things don't work out the way that we had imagined or expected. So this might not, you know, be relevant for a lot of you Taurians out there, but we get it to clarify that Three of Swords. I would say that if this does resonate for you, you've had a wonderful ability to shift your perspective on something that has happened in terms of the heart, and that you've really bounced back in a major way, in the best way. Four of Wands for Taurus, please. It's given you a lot of strength. That's what I mean when I'm lately, that Three of Swords, when it comes up, has been sort of directing more of a being spurred on, actually upping your own ante from the experience of that Three of Swords. To look at the Four of Wands, to clarify that we have the King of Swords, cutting hot knife through butter. It's clearing things out. It's an unsentimental card. There is no sentiment with the King of Swords here. It's protecting its home, whether that be internal home or the physical, your environment. That's very important to you, Taurus. the environment that you value, your home. So that King of Swords is really very clear in terms of who's allowed in there and who's not, is, is really what I'm getting from that. Then we have the Emperor. So whatever this is for anyone watching. The Emperor, please. So we're looking at the Emperor, which is very, think about it, the Empress and the Emperor, like the ultimate power couple in the tarot, I guess. The Emperor is all about those masculine qualities of outward action. I mean, principles, qualities. I'm not talking about gender. It's got nothing to do with that. A woman can be her own emperor. We've got the Seven of Cups here. Options, many options, many opportunities, many choices. The thing with the Seven of Cups is that some of these are, how do we decipher what's going to take flight, what's a mere fantasy, it can be very difficult. So this is a card of assessment. But the thing is, a bit of a delay there. The thing is, it's a lot easier to be in Seven of Cup mode when you are sitting on the Emperor's throne, because it's all about your authority, Taurus, here. This could be a new thing in your life. It could be that, that suddenly for some of you out there, you're not in a relationship, say, and you're the only person you need to consider now. Or the children have left home. You're the only one really that you need to consider on a daily sort of functioning level. So, and maybe opportunities have arisen there for you. You've been looking at doing different things. It could be anything, Taurus. So it's discerning what's going to work and what maybe is more of a fantasy. But the good thing about that is that King of Swords here, because that's the height of discernment for your own well-being and good. Prince of Wands, please. Prince of Wands. There might be someone in your life that I don't necessarily, I see this more about your relationship with yourself. But this Prince of Wands is clarified by the High Priestess. Now, as I said, it could be a personality in your life. It could be you, in fact, Taurus, when we're talking of assessment in the Seven of Cups. The High Priestess is all about your intuitive faculties. The High Priestess is the big kahuna of intuition here. Maybe you want to go and study. Maybe you want to, in a purely literal way. Maybe you do want to push some boundaries. Maybe you want to experiment with different things that you haven't. Or, it could be all of this. Often we don't follow our intuitive hits or our intuition because we don't want to listen to it. We don't want to do what it's sort of guiding us to do. I mean, I'm not talking like it's a separate entity. It's within ourselves. But often we lose something if we do follow our intuition. I don't see that so much here. I just see that that you're thinking about potentials and you have options, and it can be confusing for us, right? Queen of Cups for Taurus, please. The Branding Cup of the Queen. Stubborn cards. Can we just have one card, please? I do just get this thing, and I won't go on about it, but I just get this thing that oh God, what was it? That you might be, yeah, there might be someone, a personality in your life for some Taurus out there that you've got a strong connection to or an attraction to, but you kind of need them to step up a bit. I just get that. But anyway, we're looking at the Queen of Cups. We get the Knight of Wands. This is a kind of shape-shifting character in some ways. It refers to fire of fire, and so we have this very compulsive character as a knight, very fast moving, and a slight elevation to the Prince of Wands, which we have here clarified by the High Priestess. There is some personality for some of you out there that you it's like works in progress, and it might be some, for some, not for all. Could be aspects of yourself. This character is very reactive and impulsive. It's as if, if it is solely to do with you personally, Taurus, you may well be getting pulled with all your Seven of Cups options. You may be getting, you want to do something kind of wild. You want to, but you don't, but you do, but you'd like to. It's that kind of thing. We'll just get a Brian Froud, Pixie and Fairy to give us a extra little glimmer on that. I think just currently there's a need to to really have quite firm boundaries, because it's like for some Taurians, they've found themselves, like with a new level of freedom. Excuse me. We have the Green Woman. This is about boundaries. It's about protecting your internal home, but it's also about having fresh new growth within that as well. It's like you're still growing, Taurus. You've still got things to grow. Like, as I said, a work in progress. There's some new kind of phase or stage that you've entered into. It's happened pretty quickly. We've got oh God, what is it? The Taitlin's Self. This is speed. Kind of microscopic. That shift and change that's beyond time and space, in the linear sense. Things can shift pretty quickly. So it's nice to know that you've got solid ground, solid home to be when there's all these potentials, We've got the Oak Men. Speaking of solid foundations, solid roots. There's a lot of communication going on here under the surface. There's a lot of new stuff going on for you, Taurus, under the surface. New information, new growth. And it is something to be working through. or growing through. Interesting. Rock, mineral, crystal. Get one card for you, Taurus. I hope this has been interesting for some of you out there. We've got golden or gold sheen obsidian, which is a very metallic obsidian. Personal power, spiritual manifestation, earth healing, and new experiences. You are definitely having, for some of you Taurians out there, new experiences. Maybe free of some old self-limitations is what I just tag on the end there. On that note, thanks for joining me. Thank you for your support. And we'll see you on the other side of the new moon in Capricorn. Have a wonderful week. Ka kite. Bye.